Hey YouTube, welcome back to another Nightfall video. This week is the Arms Dealer, which is the first week in the Season of Dawn. So no more crutching on Oppressive Darkness, time to use something new, although I still use Controverse and Nova. It's a very strong neutral game, but I get into my subclass later on. This was really tough. That's why I'm doing this at Tuesday really early in the morning. Cabal Colossus really hurt. You can see something like this here where I'm just gonna gradually peek up and dead, just like that. So you kind of always have to be on your toes when fighting everything hits very hard, but especially those guys. There's one part where I fight two of them and I'm basically just finding an angle for legitimately like 8-7 minutes. So I'm gonna do a quick fade there, but I'll let you know when it's about to happen and talk about it. Outside of that, next week's video, or the Nightfall video, will probably be, I'm gonna guess, Wednesday, so it'll be pretty quick from when this uploads. This will probably be up really early Tuesday morning, probably in a couple hours. I stayed up pretty late doing this, but I'm happy I got it done. I really wanted to get it first week, so yeah, it's a really like low score, but it's just due to how slow you have to go at this power. Like I'm 967. I was doing this at 962 earlier this week, and I legitimately don't think it's possible at that power. So hoping next week I'll probably wait till I'm 971, 972, kind of that range. That'll help me get into Delta, which will be a big thing for damage dealing and taking. So anyway, enough of me talking. Enjoy the run, and be sure to watch the end if you want to figure out what happens.
That tank just exposed a solar fuel cell. There's an exhaust vent nearby, but I don't know how long you want to hang on to that thing. Blow up.
Yeah, not blowing up is as good as you can hope for sometimes.
Way to reach for the stars.
Zahn's lieutenants aren't messing around. Think we've seen the last of them?
He's bound to have more. Insecure men tend to surround themselves with others like them.
Cade, anything to add?
Nope, she's totally right, which is why I work alone.
The ship is still here.
Zahn moved in after you put Thumos down. Surprised he hasn't painted the place chartreuse to match his armor.
I'm sorry, painted it what now?
Nothing.
We're inside the ship again. Zahn can't be far now.
Could be some really weird defenses in there. Not just flame turrets. I'm talking really weird.
Don't mess with them. They need to stay focused.
Red Legion base without another indoor tank. Got it!
The elevator?
No, the tank. Now comes the elevator.
So this is the part that I was alluding to earlier with the two Colossus. Basically, I'm just gonna spend the next 7 minutes trying to find an angle where I can burst damage one of them fast enough to where I can actually get one down and then worry about the other one on its own. So I go back and forth. I feel like I literally tried every spot. Eventually I get to this point where I kind of pulled them more towards the interact spot from the console. And I see one on the right alone. I know my ammo situation is pretty weak here, so I go for a little bit of a prayer with the Nova. I see it tracking left, but it comes back to the right at the right time. Pops before the shield, so I do get the damage. I'm really low on ammo, get the reload in. 1-2 shots, boom, got one dead. That was a huge relief. This was the first time I actually got one of them dead fighting them, and it happened to be the run I did it on. So, this is absolutely the hardest part, is getting them, alone, so you can actually, because you can't focus on them at the same time. They have really smart AI for some reason. They like to cover each other, so you'll get one weak and then immediately the other guy will walk in front, or the other guy will go cover. You feel like you never have any time. When I got that kill, I saw him drop a special ammo brick, so I'm gonna hop up here and grab that, and then from here on it's just smooth sailing pretty much. I mean, it definitely took some time, 23 minutes to get to this point in the strike. It is a long time, but there's a couple incendiaries ahead, which are another odd thing, but as long as you play it safe, walk back, you'll see what I do here. It's, it's just like, I feel like it's the way to do it. It's the safest way to make sure that you get through it.
another tank. There was another tank on the elevator.
I did it. That room is so terribly hard. The score's gonna suck, but I might be able to get this clear. Right now it's Monday at 3 in the morning for me. Or I guess Tuesday 3 in the morning.
almost back to the surface.
Watch for air support. This guy's too smart to not have a backup plan.
Yeah, backup plans are overrated.
Here we go. Overcharged solar cell when you need one.
Alright, well, I got it second try tonight. I don't know what he was doing there. No idea where he was stuck. The lower score, yeah, it sucks, but it's because I spent 10 minutes trying to figure out how to kill those two barrier colossuses, colossi, whatever. This was absolutely the hardest week I've ever done for one of these. Just, man, the colossus with the arc cannons are brutal, and when they're together like they are in the tank room, there's almost nothing you can do. Like, you need to burst damage them fast, or burst damage them, one of them, because a lot of the times the other one will tend to try and cover for his teammate. It's incredibly smart AI. Not sure if that's intentional or not, but yeah, the moment one will be weak and want to pop a barrier, the other guy will walk in front, and they'll keep kind of leapfrogging each other until they're in I guess range of killing you, and at that point you can't do anything. So I'm gonna fade it. Basically, I was just looping back and forth, trying to pick up an angle where I felt like I could weaken them. Eventually, I just got to a point where they were both kind of towards the console where you interact, and then I jumped up to the entrance where the dogs come after you beat the second tank, and I had a good angle. Burst damage one of them, and then once I got that first one down, the second one's no problem really. You just gotta play smart, player angle as well, and you'll be good. The 3 incendiaries, that was interesting. In my mind, I knew that they were coming because I've done a couple of these before just to scout it out. And I basically thought, I was like, my only point is just constantly falling off, losing aggro if I can, and then trying to pick one at a time, which I did. Made it a lot easier. 2 mods that I ended up using, why I have a masterwork version of a terrible armor set, and as well as the bond. Without Oppressive Darkness, you lose a lot of burst damage potential, but I still felt like the neutral game of Nova Bomb with Controverse was too strong to lose, especially with how many Void Shields. I don't want to have to be using my Crooked Fang all the time. So I run Shield Break Charge, which by matching the element, I get a damage buff until I kill something. I normally will kill that thing that has the damage buff, but there's a few instances where I can keep it. I don't kill the enemy I just broke the shield. I kind of work on the other guys, weaken them a bit, and then kill them all at once. It's a nice mod to have. Probably the biggest one is Tenderizer. When you break Unstoppable Champions, temporarily boosts weapon damage for allied players. Did not know this till earlier today. Allied players includes yourself. So you get I believe a 20% damage buff to anything after staggering and unstoppable, and it lasts for 15 seconds. So usually I can either keep it going, where I always have the buff active because I'm not going to instant burn him. So I pop him, I shoot the unstoppable, and then as he's kind of coming back to me, if I want to, I can shoot other ads as well, or I can just go back and keep weakening him. By the time I kill him, I'll usually have 10 to 8 seconds left, so I kind of get that little bit of extra damage output right after beating him unstoppable. Ariana's and Crooked Fang. I think Crooked Fang for solo play has a better role with what I have here. Another great role would be auto-loading holster and high impact, or auto-loading holster and backup plan. Auto-loading holster and high impact are kind of counterintuitive unless you use your entire ammo and then switch off. You kind of have to be mindful that you won't proc it if you do have it. But this role for solo play, I know Line in the Sand is a very good weapon with firing line and rapid hit. I don't have one, but also firing line doesn't work when I'm solo. So like I said, this fusion rifle with the it's honestly not too much damage. It's about equivalent to like a good rolled energy sniper. So it's still not on par with heavy damage, in quotations, heavy damage, like the class of heavy weapons. It's still below, but it's better than running something like Hammerhead. Sure, I can break more shields with Hammerhead, but with Crooked Fang, I'm able to put out some pretty good damage because a lot of these enemies I can't just slowly burn with Arianas. A lot of them I have to kind of break with Ariana's, switch to this, bam, 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 get as much damage output as I can. Otherwise, it just takes too long. I mean, this run was 40 minutes. If you take away the 10 minutes from trying to kill the 2 barrier Colossus, even still, it's 30 minutes, so it's still really long. I'm running Blast Furnace. It's just a solid pulse, gives me the range, and that's what I use for my Unstoppables. Heavy ammo, special ammo finder, because running Arc, I can't use both of these, but I have a good Masterwork helmet that I like using, and this gives me arc resistance, which is nice to have. I don't know if it's necessary. I haven't tested with or without before, but I would recommend. I mean, well, if you do this, you won't do this because at this point it'll already been over. But in this case, the best case for me to go with was arc damage resistance. Here's my boss resist with a rifle reloader. Like the tenderizer. Use hand cannon reserves, just get to that 32. I think normally you get 29 with Ariana, so that's 3 bullets. And I mean, with Void, it's not like I'm using anything else anyway. One thing you may have noticed, I'm running Fusion Rifle Scavenger and Linear Fusion Scavenger. With these two set up, if I pick up a special brick, I get 1 heavy ammo shot with Linear Fusions. So it's a way of maximizing my heavy ammo, even if I don't get good drops. This thing has been in the game for a long time now. I can't remember the exact time, but it's been in the game for quite some time. I was using these before with a hand cannon and power ammo scav. Swapped to these from recommendation from clanmate. I think it was the right call. It definitely gave me quite a bit more heavy ammo to use. And then lastly, there's a special ammo finisher, major resist, perpetuation. If I use my rift, I can get it back a little faster. So there's no real better option, in my opinion, to go with. I'm not generating enough orbs to, or even using my super enough to worry about something like this. Dynamo, I'm not next to enemies. And again, super, I don't use it a whole lot. So it doesn't make sense for me to run anything else. Possibility with attrition, healing rift is the most important thing to have. So. Alright, this was a long video. I will fade out the boring parts, honestly, to make this decently quick. Hopefully it'll end up being around 20 minutes. It'll probably be uploaded Tuesday early morning Eastern time. It's 3:30 right now on Tuesday in the morning. I'm gonna do a quick edit. Hopefully have this uploaded and done by around 5, and then I will be working on the next week's, which I hope will be easier. I did some last minute power grinding. I didn't do my raid this week on this character, so I'm a little lower than I could be, but I think if I can get to 970 on this character before doing the next one, it'll make it a lot easier. 970, 971, get into that next delta. So I might not have it done Tuesday. I might work on it a bit. If I get a good one, then I will, but if not, I'll have it for sure Wednesday night. I'm leaving on Thursday to go see some family and holidays, so I might have the Insurrection Prime 2-man video out by then. If not, I will do it back just before Christmas, probably like the 23rd or 24th. I'll have it done, so that'll be my Christmas present to you guys. Guide to 2-man Insurrection Prime. Another quick update, I was doing 2-man Gauss the last 2 days, or 2-man Sanctified Bind. Much harder with the buff stacking. I won't get into it now, but it's a lot harder. I'll probably have that run done sometime next week. I gotta get another checkpoint, obviously, but I mean, it's really just execution. It's long. You need all the damage phases. That'll be my insight. You need to 4-phase. There's no way to do it faster anymore. So anyway, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I'll cut it down to make it somewhat manageable to watch, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, take care.